Namaste, Jai Bharat. One important thing in any army setup is the morale of the troops. The morale of the troops really provides the inner strength of the troops. And the morale, everyone, all the administration would see to it that the army's morale is at its best. Once they have this moral backing, moral support, then they belong to the force. Army is a collective term. It's not a singular term, it's a collective term where you are one with the other. You're together. That's what it is. That's why they wear uniform. That's why they wear uniform fundamentally. So the morale of the army shall depend largely on righteousness, no matter in which society you are. When you get orders which are inhuman, non-human, unethical, then the morale gets affected. See, the army norms is that one number senior you have to obey it. Now, there's a difference between obedience and respect. It's not necessary for a soldier to respect a superior officer, but it's necessary for a soldier to obey the superior officer. Obedience has to come. But respect is a different phenomenon. Respect is commanded, but obedience is demanded. How do you command respect? You command respect by virtue of the qualities that one possesses. When you have given qualities, then the respects get automatically commanded. People respect you by virtue of what you are, by virtue of what qualities you possess, by virtue of your demonstrated qualities. That naturally makes one respect. And the person, of course, with qualities might not care very much about respect. And so respect is different from obedience. In the services, in the army, you have to obey, but not necessarily that you have to respect. Even when you charge sheet someone in the army where there is disobedience, the charge sheet is normally framed in this manner: disobeying the lawful order of a superior officer, which is an offense. Disobeying the lawful order of a superior officer is an offense, but then remember, disobeying the lawful order, not an order which is not lawful. See, even there, the charge sheet very clearly says disobedience is disobeying a lawful order, the way the officer has to be lawful, righteous. But then, imagine a situation where the soldiers are used for whims and fancies of the officers. I'm referring to Pakistani army. Used for the whims and fancies of the officers. Then they won't have morale. They'll abuse him and then just follow the orders. As a result, some news that comes from Pakistan is that the Pakistani soldiers prefer to be absconding, that's fleeing the army, than being with the army, obeying things which they don't appreciate or which are repugnant to them, which they don't relish anymore. Occasionally, of course, once or twice you might unwillingly do things because you are under command, or you are under obedience, not command. You are under obedience, you do it. But then if it's a repetition, and if it's an ongoing process, then a soldier has no way other than to be absconding or flee the uniform. Until and otherwise, the soldier shares such sentiments of such orders which he regularly gets from his superiors. The point is, the army's behavior in Pakistan has been so inhuman. They go and wake up people in the middle of the night and just get them arrested, so-called arrested, take them out and take them to some unknown places where they get them killed. There are narratives which says that they pick up people and take them up in the helicopter and throw them down, of course, without parachute. this kind of amusement is supposed to be happening in Pakistan Army. That's what the report says. I wish the reports are false, but I don't think so. It's for you to check how legitimate they are. But with all the gamut of things happening, I don't think that so the reports are utterly false. There should be some element of truth even in such reports. So the morale of the Pakistan Army must be hitting the bedrock. Hitting the bedrock literally in capital letters, and with such an army, how can they be fight? How can they fight? You need to have self-respect, and you must belong to the nation to fight. That's what the kind of soldiers that we are used to. We shout Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and the army, different regiments will have different such war cries. I saw a video of a soldier who is a sniper. He sits on this side of hill with a long range machine gun, and he took aim, everything. Then while firing, before squeezing the trigger, he says, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ki Jai. That is a kind of emotion which he possesses. That is the morale of the army. He's a Maratha in all likelihood, or from Maratha regiment. Before squeezing the trigger, he says, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Now that of course we do, people in Bharat. Jai Shivaji, Jai Bhavani we say. That's also a war cry. So the morale of Pakistan Army must be at the stake, and what kind of control they will have on the battlefield is to be questioned. But just rest assured, had there been any support to the Baluchis from Bharat as support, they would have long become independent. We remain within our limits. Unlike what Pakistanis are, we remain within our limits. We have our soft corners. But as you make propaganda that we are not allowed to support, just have little common sense. If it was a case that Bharat is all out in support of Baluch Liberation Army, you would not have existed 2 hours. This is my calculation. You wouldn't have gone more beyond 2 hours. But you are so ill-equipped as compared with us. Simple. And the moral. That of course the moral of the Bharatiya soldiers, Bharatiya Sena, you can't compare. You can't comprehend, you can't compare. Anyway, the moral of the army in Pakistan is at stake. The people are absconding, fleeing, and those who can't even do that might be remaining back against all odds, fighting first with themselves, their own selves, against their emotional blocks. We shall meet again with some other thought. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.